picture. Take another picture. Much better. How's your wife? Is she still at the same job? Huh? Is she still at the same job?
Yeah.
Or did she quit? Or did she quit? Nice.
Please welcome President and CEO of Reproductive Freedom for All, Minnie.
Look at you, Tucson. You look so good. It's just incredible to be here today with all of you. You know, it's been a tough week. We've had really bad news, right? And when I got the call to come on out to Arizona, there was no place else I wanted to be than right here with you. You are such fighters. You are such champions for reproductive freedom. And I know we're going to fix this as fast as we can, right? I'm Minnie Tamaraju, President and CEO of Reproductive Freedom for All, and I'm so proud to be here with you today during this pivotal moment for this fight here in Arizona, but across the country. All eyes are here, but you know we've got this fight all across the country. You know, it's been 2 years since the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade, the court that Donald Trump bragged about appointing, let's be clear. And as Americans, we're being forced to reckon with this nightmare state of abortion access in our country that, let's be clear, extremist MAGA Republicans have wrought. 21 states have eliminated access and restricted access because of these abortion bans, and now we're facing the really life-threatening and dangerous consequences of these bans, and you're going to hear a lot more about that today. But look, since Donald Trump orchestrated this, the end of a federal right to abortion, and he's trying to change the narrative here, but we're not going to let him, right? We're not going to let him. Not to mention Kerry Lake and his cronies here in the state. Yeah, we can do that again. Not to mention Kerry Lake. I mean, she's a piece of work. I mean, I was just down here a short minute ago campaigning for Katie Hobbs, and we just heard this. I mean, we know, right, Kerry? We know. We know that you did this, and we know Donald Trump did this, right? Listen, he and his allies, they just can't wait to pass even more cruel bans in the face of near constant reports of the harm. They're reading the headlines, they're hearing the stories that we're hearing, and they cannot stop passing these bans and imposing these restrictions on American families all across the country. But nobody knows more about this than you right here in Arizona, right now. The ban that's on your books, you've seen it firsthand, that what happens with the freedom to decide if, when, and how to have a family. And that's what we're talking about, right? A fundamental freedom has to be determined by where you live, how much money you make, and your ability to travel. You have to leave your own state. So Arizonans, you've seen what these bans were intended to do. Criminalize doctors, stop women and pregnant people from accessing abortion, no matter the consequences. And it's a good reminder again that Donald Trump is on the record multiple times talking about how women and providers and doctors need to be punished. That's what this has always been about, right? This has always been about power and control and punishing us for the equity and the equality we deserve to have in this country. That is not what America is about. It is certainly not what Arizona is about. We're going to show them that in November. Amen. So this is exactly why I'm here and why our members are here, and we're fighting back. We've got to elect Ruben Gallego to the U.S. Senate. When I say the path to restoring Roe and codifying a federal right to abortion runs through Arizona, It runs through Arizona, y'all. I mean, you got a local fight. We got to be here. We got to get this done. But you also have the eyes of a nation on you. I'm from Texas. I am telling you. I know. Look, I'm proud to be from Texas. You know, I'm from Houston. It's a blue city. We're fighting back. We're fighting back, right? But we cannot win without you in Arizona sending Ruben Gallego to the U.S. Senate. And we cannot win without sending President Biden and Kamala Harris back to the White House. Just a second about Kamala Harris. I mean, what a fighter. I mean, she was built for this moment. We are so incredibly lucky to have this leader, this fighter, this champion in the Vice President's office, leading this fight for reproductive freedoms across the country, right here in Arizona and beyond. I've had the privilege of watching her up close. You're going to see her in a minute, and she's just so passionate, but she's also strategic, and she's the fighter we need right now to win, and for Joe Biden to be back in the White House. So I'm going to ask all of you, are you ready to join us in mobilizing your friends and family? Are you ready to join us in getting your colleagues and community members mobilized? Are you ready to elect leaders who we know will fight for freedoms and ensure the right to abortion is on the ballot so Arizonans can restore it and enshrine it in your state constitution? Well, I am too, and we are ready. And it's been a privilege and an honor, and I cannot wait for you to hear the amazing champions up next. Thank you so much, Arizona. Thank you so much, Tucson. I can't wait to see you on the trail. Let's win.
Welcome Senator Priya Sundararajan.
Senator Priya Sundararajan, and I represent our wonderful Tucson at the state legislature. I have been working with my Democratic colleagues since the beginning of this session to protect abortion access, long before the 1864 ruling came down from the state Supreme Court. And this session, I introduced legislation to protect access to contraception in Arizona because I knew where we were going. We were sounding the alarm, all of us, on the extreme Arizona Republicans from our state legislature all the way up to Congress who were looking to strip away access to medication abortions, contraception, and essential medical services like IVF. And I'm here today, again, with my fellow Democrats to sound that alarm again. An abortion ban that was written 160 years ago has now been reinstated. When that bill was written, women couldn't own a home. Women couldn't vote. Rape was legal. And the age of consent was 10 years old. This is all happening now because Donald Trump dismantled Roe v. Wade, and this is all part of their playbook. Donald Trump installed the Supreme Court justices who overturned Roe, and at the same time, our Arizona legislators here passed a law to take us back 100 years in time. They specifically wrote into that Arizona law from a few years ago that the 1864 ban stays in place. And now they're ready to pretend it never happened. Trump and my Republican colleagues are attempting to walk back their positions and lie to Arizonans. We will not allow that to happen. We've all watched as they've passed abortion bans. They've instituted a 24-hour waiting period for abortions. and much more. I was even pregnant with my now 2-year-old, when they passed a ban on abortions after receiving the results of a genetic test. They continue. And over the last few sessions, Arizona Republicans have passed fetal personhood legislation. Make no mistake, every Republican in the House and Senate voted in support of that fetal personhood legislation, which means they are in lockstep with the Trump agenda. Donald Trump and Republicans here in Arizona are complicit in this ban. And in a nationwide attempt to ban access to the range of reproductive health care, from contraceptives to abortion to IVF. They don't plan to stop until our rights are gone. It's not right. It's not right that Arizonans need to brace ourselves every few years in hopes that our fundamental rights won't change. Abortion is on the ballot this year, from the ballot initiative to the presidency, and, in my view, most importantly, in the state legislature. Because both the Arizona House and Senate have a 1-seat deficit in each chamber for Democrats. And flipping just 2 seats, will stop these attacks on reproductive freedom. So there's only one path. There's only one path forward to restoring our freedoms. We must vote for President Biden. We must vote for Vice President Harris. And we must vote for Democrats up and down the ticket. Up and down. So that Arizona families know that our freedoms are protected. Thank you.
Please welcome Mayor Regina Romero.
Buenas tardes, Tucson. Muy buenas tardes, good afternoon. It's an honor to be with you here today, welcoming the most chingona of them all, our Vice President, to the beautiful city of Tucson. I'd like to begin by grounding ourselves and acknowledging the histories of these lands. We are standing on the lands that have been